Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olajumoke Oladunjoye. The headlines. Federal government says no fresh ban on Nigerian domestic workers in Kuwait. Makinde mourns passing of Chief Lekan Alabi. Spanish Prime Minister calls for urgent European Union meeting after selfish responses to Kuwaiti crisis. US to make visa bond program permanent for people from dozens of countries. Ogazi wins 10th gold medal for Nigeria at Glasgow 2026. Now the details. The Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs has clarified reports alleging that the government of Kuwait imposed a ban on the recruitment of Nigerian domestic workers, saying the reports do not accurately reflect the current situation. In a statement signed by the ministry spokesperson, Mr. Kiniebi Ebiemfa, the ministry explained that this issue stemmed from an earlier decision by the Embassy of Nigeria in Kuwait City to suspend the recruitment and deployment of Nigerian domestic workers to Kuwait, pending the resolution of concerns over their welfare and working conditions. The ministry stressed that the matter was not a fresh restriction introduced by the Kuwaiti authorities, but a continuation of measures previously adopted by the Nigerian mission in Kuwait, and further said Nigeria and Kuwait would continue to engage through diplomatic channels on labor and migration-related issues. Family planning is much more than birth control. It is a fundamental component of sexual and reproductive health, with a direct impact on individuals, families, and communities. Over time, various family planning methods have become popular in society. Yet, one procedure is surrounded by a lot of myth about how it works and its side effects: vasectomy. In this special report, Agidigbo FM News correspondent Jehovah Toby Olaiju speaks with a medical doctor about what vasectomy is while separating fact from fiction. Here are the details.
Over the years, family planning has been one of the key ways individuals and couples regulate the number of children they wish to have. There are several family planning methods available, ranging from widely used barrier and hormonal methods like condoms and contraceptives to long-acting reversible methods such as intrauterine contraceptive devices, IUCDs, to more permanent surgical procedures. For this report, I am focusing on one of the most misunderstood and feared methods, vasectomy, a male-focused permanent form of contraception, and is surrounded by many myths and misconceptions. To better understand vasectomy, I spoke with the medical director of Ibadan Central Hospital, Dr. Ibrahim Odetola. He explained what vasectomy is and how the procedure is carried out.
Vasectomy is a form of family planning that they usually do for a man. So it's more or less of permanent family planning. It's a procedure in which the cut off the tube that connect the testicle to the urethra, where the ejaculation goes to will release the sperm and cause fertilization of the egg, that will lead to pregnancy and eventually to baby, having baby. This procedure is just a minor procedure. It's not a big deal.
However, it is common for people to have misconceptions about medical procedures involving the body. Dr. Odetola addressed some of these by outlining the actual side effects of vasectomy.
That's the fallacy. They still enjoying it. The side effect they can have just within few days. When they do surgery, they can have pain in that surgical side, which is normal. They can have mild swelling in that surgical side, which is normal. Anybody that organ swelling, we have pain, we have swelling. With time, it will disappear. But when they do vasectomy, there is a precaution into this. Not immediately that will be effective like that. When they do vasectomy, within 3 months they do it. They can still impregnate because
the decision to undergo vasectomy as a family planning method is deeply personal. Nonetheless, family planning should not be viewed as the sole responsibility of women. Male involvement is crucial for shared reproductive health decisions. The medical director further clarified other facts about vasectomy that are often unknown to the public and contrary to popular opinion.
However, it is part of the world environment, due to so many belief, cultural background of many of our people. It is not readily acceptable by main component. It's not a big deal. If you do vasectomy, the only thing that you can't have is that you can't impregnate a woman. But all form of sexual ability will still be intact. Sexual enjoyment, even the person can ejaculate. But the ejaculation in this sense will be issues. As I was saying before, that if you have vasectomy, it's permanent, yes. However, but in some developed countries that have advanced medical technologies, they can attempt to reverse it by connecting it to the cord back. But in most of the cases, it doesn't work. In some cases, it may work. It's just a trial. But if you have vasectomy, you have at the bottom of your mind that you don't want to have baby again. So that's it.
The purpose of this report is not to promote or discourage any specific family planning method. It is to provide accurate information and dispel myths surrounding vasectomy as a form of family planning. The choice of contraceptive method ultimately rests with the individual or couple and should be made after consultation with a qualified healthcare provider. Jehovah Tobi, Olajumoke, Agidigbo FM News.
Mobile phones have become an important part of everyday life, especially among secondary school students. They are no longer used only for making calls and sending text messages, but also for learning, accessing information, communicating with teachers and classmates, and participating in online educational activities. In this report, Agidigbo FM correspondent Mercy Alade examines the use of mobile phones among secondary school students, highlighting both the advantages and the challenges.
Mobile phones are important for academic and organizational tools, putting a world of resources in a student's pocket. Children of today are born into a digital world and develop digital literacy skills that are far from advanced from their parents and teachers. Nowadays, students spend most of their times on social media, online games, and unnecessary chatting instead of focusing on their studies. Beyond the academic performance, excessive screen time can lead to weak sight, cause headache, and other health issues. An educator, Mrs. Adenike Adeniyi, shared her views on how mobile phones affect students' academic performance.
Mobile phone for them, but my own perspective, they will not concentrate in class. Even if the lecturer is inside class lecturing them, they may be pressing phone. They will not concentrate. In short, they'll be pressing phone. They'll be doing a lot of things on phone. So, taking mobile phone to school for them, to me, it's something that I cannot do. Not that I cannot buy it, but I cannot do it this time around because they're still learning. Secondary school children.
Speaking on the subject, a Nigerian teacher, Mr. Bamidele, explained both advantages and disadvantages of mobile phones among secondary school students.
Students are easily distracted. Most students now on TikTok, so they are probably reading right now, and a notification pops in, and the next thing they ignore what they are reading and move on to the likes of TikTok and start watching videos, dancing videos, and others. So that has also affected them. So we always advise parents and students to always limit to have their own screen time. Create a screen time for them so they understand the benefit and the rudiment of using the mobile phone.
Truth be told, mobile phones are useful tools, but they can also be harmful if not properly controlled. Parents are also encouraged to monitor their children's phone usage, set screen time limits, and promote a healthy balance between learning and recreation. Secondary school students must learn to use their phone responsibly so that technology helps them instead of destroying their future. Mercy Alade, Agidigbo FM News.
Oyo State Governor, Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, has expressed deep sorrow over the demise of Oloye Lekan Alabi, a senior Ibadan chief, veteran journalist, outstanding public affairs analyst, distinguished elder statesman, cultural icon, and respected community leader. According to a statement signed today by the Special Advisor on Media to the Governor, Dr. Sulaiman Olarinwaju, Governor Makinde described Chief Alabi's passing as a monumental loss, not only to Oyo State but to Nigeria as a whole, noting his invaluable contributions to journalism, culture, and public service. Governor Makinde also extended heartfelt condolences to Chief Alabi's family, friends, and associates, as well as the Ibadan community and the wider Oyo State, and further urged all women to take solace in the enduring impact of Chief Alabi's life and work. Now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Kulamza Studio, Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damilola. Spain has condemned the selfish, polarizing, and unlawful reaction of some European countries to the influx of about 60,000 migrants from Morocco to Ceuta. Officials said almost all those who reached the enclave on 30th July have returned, while Spain's Interior Minister Fernando Grande Marlaska this morning confirmed that the death toll has increased to 67. This comes after Italy temporarily suspended the EU's border-free Schengen arrangements with Spain, as Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni called the scene shocking. Meanwhile, in the United States, the State Department said the incident was a direct result of Spain migration policies. President Donald Trump called the situation a disaster. He said it looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people, although Spain had started to establish an inflexible maritime barrier to prevent further illegal migrants' entry. A TikToker who used Meta smart glasses to secretly film members of the public, shop, workers, and ferry staff during a road trip around Scotland is being investigated by the police. Police authorities in Scotland confirmed it had received complaint and was reviewing footage to establish if any criminality was involved. Scott Magnuson, who also posts on Instagram and YouTube, has built up the vast majority of his social media audience on TikTok using the alias EW. While many of his videos feature harmless banter, others have a darker side, particularly when he encounters young women or people from ethnic minorities. And that ends the news from Kulamza Studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damilola.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat Studio, Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya. The United States Department is making its visa bond program permanent, a move that could require travelers from 50 countries, most of them in Africa, to pay bonds of up to $20,000 when applying for certain U.S. visas. According to a notice published online on Friday, the policy applies to B1 and B2 visas, which are issued for business and tourism travel. Under the new rule, consular officers will have the authority to require eligible non-immigrant visa applicants to post a bond of up to $20,000 before a visa is issued. The State Department said the 2025 pilot program, developed in partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Treasury, demonstrated that visa bonds are an effective tool for improving compliance with United States immigration rules among visa holders. During the pilot phase, applicants could be required to post bonds of up to $5,000, $10,000, or up to $15,000. The permanent rule eliminates the $5,000 option and increases the maximum bond amount to $20,000. The new policy is scheduled to take effect on August 3, the same day it is set to be officially published in the Federal Register. Of the 50 countries covered by the program, 30 are in Africa. Russia launched a massive overnight missile and drone assault on Kyiv and the surrounding region early Saturday, killing at least 10 people, as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that the country has exhausted its supply of interceptor missile for its U.S.-made Patriot air defense systems. According to Zelensky, Russia fired 35 missiles, including 27 ballistic missiles, along with 185 drones during the attack. He said only one ballistic missile was intercepted because Ukraine no longer longer has interceptor missiles available for its Patriot batteries. Now in its fifth year, the war continues along roughly 1,200 kilometers of front line, although Russia advances have slowed significantly this year. Ukraine has stepped up attacks inside Russian territory, targeting oil facilities, logistics hubs, and weapon production sites. Russia has also intensified its area bombardment of Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. Ukraine depends heavily on US-supplied Patriot air defense systems, but the recent conflict involving Iran has reportedly diverted interceptor missiles that had been intended for Ukraine to US forces and American allies in the Gulf. And that is the news from Kuli Hamzat Studio, Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
Back once again. In the exciting world of sport, Nigeria's Samuel Ogazi has secured the country's 10th gold medal at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, producing a brilliant run to claim the men's 400 in 44 seconds. The national record holder lived up to his billing as one of the favourites, pulling away from the field in the closing stages to cap a remarkable championship for the 20-year-old quarter-miler. Ogazi's victory crowns a dominant campaign that began with a commanding first-round performance, then made history in the semi-finals by clocking 44.52 seconds, the fastest men's 400-meter semi-final ever recorded at the Commonwealth Games. His gold also continues Nigeria's impressive resurgence in athletics after Ezekiel Nathaniel claimed the men's 400-meter hurdles title on Friday, becoming the first Nigerian man to win Commonwealth Games gold in the event. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Federal government says no fresh ban on Nigerian domestic workers in Kuwait. Makinde mourns passing of Chief Lekan Alabi. Spanish Prime Minister calls for urgent European Union meeting after selfish responses to Ceuta crisis. US to make visa bond program permanent for people from dozens of countries. Ogazi wins 10th gold medal for Nigeria at Glasgow 2026. And before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. The secret of getting ahead is getting started, right from the first one. Finally, we've come to the end of news around the world on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olajumoke Oladunjoye. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information